Well, we're back for another math lesson. Today is going to be explorations, which has always been a favorite at school. Our target for today are three things because we're going to have three different stations, but it's practices over what we have been studying this past couple of weeks with our Unit 8. So, first target is I can recognize and draw shapes having specified attributes, talking about angles, faces, sides, edge, parallel, and vertices. And this one is going to be a rotation or a game called Mystery Shape, or you can play Shape Catcher, which is on Connect Ed. And I'm going to show you those in just a minute. Okay. Next target is going to be I can partition a shape into equal rows and columns, creating equal parts. And this is going to be either with a geoboard, if you have one at home, or you're going to be tracing shapes. And then the last target is I can find the total number of objects in an array and write a number model with an answer. And that is going to be array concentration, or on Web, which is called Candy Shop. So the biggest things is that we're focusing on attributes, how to partition, and what an array is with a number model. All right, so that is our target for today. So the first activity that we're going to be doing is called Mystery Shape. Guess what, guys? I got glasses, new glasses and contacts, so nice, right? All right, so do you remember the shapes that you cut out earlier and we played in class? You are going to be taking those shapes. I only have three right here, but you're going to take all your shapes and you're going to put them in a bag that you can't see through. So, and what you're going to do is you're going to reach in and because you can't see, I'm going to show you, but you're going to reach in and you're going to feel sides. You're going to feel vertices, and then you're going to describe it, okay? You're also going to need Math Journal page 217, okay? And so once you are playing this game, whether you play it with a sibling or mom or someone else at home, you are going to be describing and saying, I have 1, 2, 3 vertices, and I have 1, 2, 3 sides. And then from there, you're going to draw. So if you played this by yourself, you could leave it in there and you could feel, and then based off what you feel, you draw, and then you pull the shape out. If you have some shapes at home, you can use those shapes at home, put those in your bag, and you can draw those and say, ooh, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertices. And then if you feel your sides, you have that. You can say, ooh, I have 2 parallel sides and my angles are not 90 degrees. So you want to make sure that you're using the terms that we have been talking about, which you're going to be using angles, vertices, sides, parallel, and you don't have to worry about edge or faces because those are three-dimensional, but if you do have some three-dimensional, you could put that in there. So if you have a small can, you could fill those and make it three-dimensional. Just whenever you get ready to draw it, you can draw it two-dimensional. If you have some shapes at home, you can use those shapes at home, put those in your bag, and you can draw those and say, ooh, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertices. And then if you feel your sides, you have that. You can say, ooh, I have 2 parallel sides and my angles are not 90 degrees. So you want to make sure that you're using the terms that we have been talking about, which you're going to be using angles, vertices, sides, parallel, and you don't have to worry about edge or faces because those are three-dimensional, but if you do have some three-dimensional, you could put that in there. So if you have a small can, you could fill those and make it three-dimensional. It is Math Journal page 217. You have 2 lines on the page. You can draw a line up because you want to be able to draw 2 shapes. But I want you to play the game several times so that you can hear yourself using those terms with. Okay, so the next game you're going to be playing is, if you had geoboards, you know these are geoboards from our classroom. If you had geoboards, you are going to be making shapes. So you know how to do that. Making your shapes with rubber bands. But once you make a shape on your geoboard, then you are going to be taking rubber bands and partitioning them into equal rows and columns. So on this one, I actually have, if I can find a rubber band, I have four, 1, 2, 3, 4 equal columns. And if I really wanted to, I could divide it into 2 rows. So we're working with equal partitioning. Okay, so this is if you have a geoboard. Okay, if you do not have a geoboard, the alternate activity would be just a blank sheet of paper. And you can find some objects at home that you can trace. So this is Miss Foster's ID badge. And I can trace around it. Okay, so now that I've traced around it, I want to divide that shape into equal rows and columns. So I can just, and I would do this with a pencil. Let Miss Foster get her pencil out. I would take that and just mark my places. And then using a ruler, you can draw your equal lines. If you wanted to, you could measure it and then divide it up equally, but I'm not asking you to do that. So if I can do it in half this way if I want to, but you know, Miss Foster, I like threes. Threes is my number. Kind of stretches my brain a little bit. Once I draw it, I'm looking at them and I can say this is how many rows. So counting my rows. Good job. The rows are going this way. I have 1, 2, 3 rows. And how many are in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have a 3 by 4 array. And what does that equal? And if you want to put times, because we worked on that on another lesson. So 3 times 4, you can count by 3s by your columns, or you can count by 4s, your rows. 3 by 4, or 3 times 4, is the same as 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 2 more is 10, plus 2 more is 12. So that is a 3 by 4 array is 12. So you can trace things like that. You can trace even smaller things. You're going to divide it. You can make that one if you wanted to. You don't have to have a ruler. You can just draw your lines. Made that by a what? What kind of array is that? Good. 2 by 2. So 2 rows, 2 columns. Notice I can put it this way too. It's what I've always been doing, but I can do it both ways. And so that equals 4. Okay. So this actually, by tracing and partitioning it, you have something to show. The geoboards is great because they're fun. It's hands-on with the rubber bands. But in this one, you'll just be stating what kind of an array is this. This is a 2 by 4 array, which equals what? Row plus row, or column, 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 column. 4 plus 4 is 8, or 2, 4, 6, 8. So either way is going to be good that you have to turn in, but just wanted to show you your 2 options for the partitioning. Last station rotation that we would be doing for this is, do you remember your array cards? Okay, I'm going to have you lay those out. So once you get your cards laid out, you can put all your arrays on one side and all your number cards on one side. You're going to play the game like concentration like you did a couple of lessons ago. If you want to really challenge yourself, you can mix up your number cards and your array cards so that they're all mixed in, and then you're really challenging yourself to do that, to be able to find matches. Okay. If you're playing this at home and maybe a brother or sister wants to play with you, you can actually go in and take your array your number cards with your array. So let me see if I can find my 15 cards out. Find all your matches that you have, and you can color dots on them so that your younger siblings are looking for the dots, whereas you are looking for the number and the array. So all your cards would have a different color. You know, you could do a green, a yellow, a blue, a purple, all the different colors so that your sibling can play with you. Or if you had stickers, you can put matching stickers on each one, but you may not have enough matching stickers. But you can do, if your sibling's learning their shapes, you can do triangles and squares, and you're looking for a red square and a red square or a blue circle, you can do that with your siblings so that they can play with you, and this would be a game that you could play. So that is the array concentration and how you can play with your sibling. Another game that you can play, Miss Foster's put it on RenWeb, is Candy Shop. You can play that game. It's a short game, so you probably want to play a couple of rounds of that one just to make sure that you're understanding and seeing the array with the number model. So our target again for today was I can recognize and draw shapes having specific attributes. You're focusing on angles, sides, parallel, and vertices. Faces and edge are for three-dimensional shapes. That's if you put some 3D shapes in your bag. Okay, and then your next target that you wanted to focus on today is I can partition a shape into equal rows and columns, creating equal parts. And that was with our geoboard, or you can trace your shapes. It's just up to you. If you have a geoboard, you can do that too. But you will have to draw a picture for Miss Foster and show how you partitioned making equal rows and columns. And then the last target that we had today is I can find the total number of objects in an array and write a number model with an answer. You are doing that with your partitioning. The array concentration just gives you more of a solid base to be able to understand that you know what a 2x2 array, what that equals. So you're working with this skill. This game goes along with this skill, but your number model goes with your geoboard or tracing your shapes. So that is what you'll be doing for math today. I'm not sure if there are any other pages for you to complete. Usually at school we do not, so I think that this will be your day for math. So have fun, and I look forward to seeing you at our next math lesson.